Welcome to the YouTube channel of Snelata Srivastava, XSG Lok Sabha. In this video, I'm going to tell you in detail about what is the function of Committee on Private Members' Bills and Resolution. This committee is very, very important as far as the private members' business is concerned, and we should know as the functioning of the House. In order to examine bills seeking to amend the Constitution of India before their introduction in the House, to categorize of all bills introduced by private members, and to recommend time for discussion of such bills or resolutions tabled by private members, there is a committee on private member bills and resolutions for the purpose of determining the urgency and importance of these bills, and before reporting their findings to the House, the members in charge of the bills are asked in writing to send their views, if any, regarding classification of their bills for the consideration of the committee, and where considered necessary, the representative of the ministries concerned are invited to the sittings of the committee to present their views on the provisions of the bill in question. The committee is thus in a better position to assess the relative importance of various bills and recommend the time that should be allotted for them. The committee consists of not more than 15 members nominated by the Speaker. In view of the importance of the committee, the Deputy Speaker is invariably included as a member thereof, and as far as possible, every section of opinion in the House is represented therein. On the background, on 13th March 1953, a suggestion was made in the Lok Sabha that a standing committee on private members' bill might be constituted to examine all bills tabled by private members and to categorize them according to their relative importance. In pursuance of the recommendations of the Rules Committee as adopted by the House, the Committee on Private Members' Bills was constituted for the first time on 1st December 1953 with an initial membership of 10. On 13th May 1954, the membership was increased from 10 to 15 and the functions were enlarged so as to cover private members' resolutions also within its ambit. The committee was accordingly designated as the Committee on Private Members' Bills and Resolution. The term of the committee is 1 year, usually beginning on 1st June of every year, ending on 31st May of the following year. The functions of the committee are to examine and classify all private members' bill according to their nature, urgency, and importance, as I have already told you, before they are taken up for the consideration. To recommend the time and to examine bills to amend constitution before their introduction in the House, to examine a private member's bill which is opposed in the House on the ground that the bill initiates legislation outside the legislative competence of the House, and to perform such other function in respect of private members' bills and resolution as may be assigned to it by the speaker from time to time. They categorize the bills, and they allocate the time, they examine, scrutinize, they discuss with the ministry concerned, and so it is, and the constitutional amendment, the priority to be decided, the less important bill which have gained priority at the ballot sometimes occupied all the private members' time, blocking the more important bills. So, in order to prevent such contingency, it was considered necessary that one of the function of the committee should be should be to examine all bills at the initial stage and to categorize them on certain principle. So the bills are qualified, the classified in two categories, category A and category B. They had on 6 March 1954, the committee had laid down the procedure, the principle which are taken into consideration while classifying private members' bill, that in the light of public opinion, there is a general necessity and demand for the measure proposed, that the bill seeks to provide for a lacuna or to remedy a defect in an existing legislation, that it is not opposed to the directive principle of state policy as defined in the Constitution, or to the secular nature of the state, or to public policy and opinion. That there is already a bill in the legislative program due consideration by the House, that there is a possibility of a comprehensive measure being introduced by government at a later date, and that the bill proposed is of such importance and urgency that, irrespective of a more comprehensive bill being introduced later, its consideration earlier will at least bring about a statement of government policy or help in settling an important issue. So the general principle followed in categorizing a bill under category A are its public importance and urgency, and those categorized as B contain a lesser element of urgency or importance. A bill placed in category B may be recategorized in any subsequent session if the committee, on an application made by the member in charge of the bill, is satisfied that its upgrading has now become necessary. The question of recategorization of a bill may be referred back to the committee for reconsideration by moving an amendment to the motion for adoption of the relevant report of the committee. Once the committee has considered and rejected the request for recategorization and the relevant report is adopted by the House, subsequent request from the member during the session for recategorization of the bill is not contained by the committee. So this is about the committee in detail. Thank you.